I never considered myself an artist. It was actually never a thought that had crossed my mind the first 29 years of my life. And I can still remember when I saw the first posing routine in 2021. I was in Tampa, Florida at a Tampa Pro Show, and there was a bodybuilding female that performed, and her routine just gave me chills. And I think that was the first time that I had the thought in my head that I want to do that. I wanted to make people feel the way that she made me feel when I watched her perform and do her routine. And so when I got benched from the gym for the first time, I realized that I had to find a new outlet for me to deal with a lot of just some of the pain and resentment that I've been holding on to, and things in my past that I still hadn't really let go of. And for me with posing, it started with these silly posing challenges that I found on Instagram that Rachel and Jarek would post. And they would pick a song, and you would get to pick 60 seconds within the song, but you had to come up with something to it. And then they would pick a winner, and you could get a free session with them or something like that. But what I didn't realize when I started doing this, that it wasn't going to become just an outlet for me. It was actually something that was going to become much bigger than that. It was something that was going to become my own personal source of healing. And what I would find out later, something that I truly believe now, is God's calling for what I'm supposed to do in life. So to say when I started things were really frustrating would be an absolute understatement. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no background in dance, no background in choreography, no background in any of this stuff. All I knew is I loved music, I loved to move to it, and I mean, heck, if I was going into WPD, I had to learn anyway, so why not be as good as I could possibly be at it? And so I started practicing constantly. I would do videos every day, multiple times a day for hours, especially if I was out of the gym for weeks at a time, which happened multiple times in 2022. And I would just practice over and over and over, and finally things would start to get smoothed out. And I remember when I made this routine right here, this was the first time I ever made 60 seconds to anything, and it took me 3 hours, but then something crazy happened. I posted it on Instagram and I got this. And I was in shock. But I felt like if he thought I was onto something, and he is somebody that is definitely known as a legend in posing, then maybe he was right. Maybe I was onto something. And as things got smoother, it got more fun. There were some hard times in between. There was a coach that I really looked up to in posing, and she really made me feel like garbage. But I had Jarek and I had my now best friend Jacob, and they really helped lift me up and keep me going and kept pushing me to do what I was doing. And they told me, if you've ticked her off, you've probably actually done something right. So just keep doing it. And so I did, and sure enough, boom, I got this. So this comment was for a different routine that I don't have on my phone, but still, it was absolutely wild. All right, so we are 14 weeks out, technically, from show to be determined. We've not even picked one yet, but we are 16 weeks out from the Amateur Olympia, which is super exciting. But yeah, things are going all right. I'm in like a little 2-week gut protocol, so I'm not exactly feeling the best. Sometimes I feel really energetic, and sometimes I feel like I could sit on the toilet all day. All right, here we go. This is the first week where I've looked like this pretty much the majority of the week. It's not because of training or cardio or low food or anything like that. It's literally just because this week we're going through a gut protocol. I'm at the tail end of it, and if you've never been through one, when you get to the end of it before you start taking probiotics again, you're going to feel absolutely horrible, more than likely, and that's pretty much the point I'm at. So hopefully Tuesday we start pumping me back full of probiotics again, and I will start feeling a little bit more back to normal, because I am not ready to feel like this yet. All right, so we are just under 14 weeks out from show to be determined, and then we are just under 16 weeks out of the amateur O. Definitely having some off days here and there. Currently using some antibiotics to get rid of had some gut issues for a while, and so we've been going through doing a big protocol, and they're hefty, so we would do it, get it better, come out of it, go back into it, attack it a little bit more. And so just to be safe, we're doing one final attack on it, so the antibiotics are starting to wear on me just a little bit. So training this week has not exactly been the most enjoyable experience. I'm not gonna lie. I'm having one of those weeks where, again, I don't really feel the greatest at the moment. I know I'm gonna feel better probably towards the end of next week. But this week I feel like crap, and when I feel like crap, well, motivation goes down. But a bad workout is a lot better than no workout. So I've tried to pace myself throughout the week. If I have a really, really bad day, I might push my training off to the next day. And usually I'm feeling a little bit better if I'm a little bit more rested. But sometimes I just also have to suck it up and deal with it. So this week what we're doing is we're just continuing to hold back. So I'm not really pushing to failure or anywhere close to failure in any of these. I talked to my coach about it, and we decided, just because I'm in a gut protocol and because of all the stuff my body is fighting on off internally that comes along with that, we are trying to keep my training intensity to about a 7 max, which if you know me, you know that I really hate that. It irritates the crap out of me, and it almost makes me a little bit more irritated being in the gym than if I wouldn't have gone at all. But like I said, a workout at a lower intensity is going to be a lot better than just not going altogether at this point. So trying to keep my head up, trying to remember that in the grand scheme of things, I'm going to feel better soon. And then when I start feeling like garbage again, I'm going to be down to, my last 6-8 weeks, whatever. And that's really, in the span of life, that's not a long time. So I'm doing well, trying to keep my head up, but it's definitely getting difficult. So overall, it's really not been a bad couple of weeks. I'm still eating quite a bit. I'm still doing pretty much no cardio. I'm playing with a lot of posing. I've got more days where I really do feel energetic, even though I've had some here and there where I felt like absolute crap. That's just part of the process. It's just to be expected. So when the good days come, I just really need to remember to enjoy it and have fun on those days. And then when the days come where I'm not feeling so great, just remember that too is part of the process, and it's going to pass. And at some point I'm going to have another good day again. They just might get a little bit fewer and more far between as we get further into this. But overall, we're looking pretty good, feeling pretty good, and I'm just really excited to get the next 14 to 16 weeks over with and see what happens. The best thing that I can do is just remember that this is a choice, and it's one that I'm blessed to be able to do.